Viewers, we watched Skeleton Episode 1. Grant, thoughts?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a fun show.
This is a rewatch for me, so that's fun. Yeah, I guess there's not much to say because this isn't anything new. I like the very human-esque planet.
Yeah, and how it similar to human life.
Yeah, but it's very dystopian-esque the way they exited, and there's things that they didn't know about.
And I think it's very dystopian that they didn't know if
And
there's planets or stars.
It tried to simulate a perfect world by everything seeming perfect, and how this guy's standing out because he's just not following the rules that everyone's been.
I thought there was gonna be. I'm making prediction. There was a hibernation. They said something about a hibernation pod in the starship when they were first exploring it. And I remember a story of a legend. It was either legends or just not canon, about a story of a clone trooper who was in a hibernation pod during the Clone Wars, and then he woke up post Empire, and he was shocked that he was fighting for nothing, and then he became a pirate. And I know the show deals a lot with pirates, so that could be a cool way to introduce it.
Yeah, he hasn't seen any of the trailers.
No, I did not.
I've only seen the first and second episode. We're gonna do the second episode right now. I'm heading off to Grant's function, and we just finished episode 2 of Skeleton Crews. How do you feel about it, Grant?
I really like that one. The end of it with the Jedi, I think it'd be cooler if they might have used Luke, recasted Luke Skywalker, because we don't know how any other Jedi are alive.
Grant,
so this will be interesting.
Luke's busy at this time. He's rebuilding his Jedi Order.
Yeah, I know.
You know, the Mandalorian?
I think this is before the Mandalorian. Because Mandalorian takes place 5 to 6 years after the New Republic.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting how, I don't know, I've seen this before, so viewers, you can see my video recap that I talked about earlier. But yeah, I can't wait for the other episodes, because the next following clips will be of my reaction before anything else. So, yeah. So
That was amazing.
That was interesting. The owl, I've never seen a creature like that. He mentioned maybe that's Ahsoka's owl.
Probably not, actually.
Probably not. He knows so much about planets. It reminds me of that one person from the Coruscant. If your planet does not appear on this record, it must not exist. When Obi-Wan was looking for Kamino.
Yeah.
Kamino's a planet that's also been hidden. Could those be in relation?
It was in the records until.
But then it got
Dooku took it out.
Erased or hidden. Yeah.
But it was in the records. So.
But it was erased, which was a way to hide it.
Yeah, but these were never recorded, so.
They were recorded, but then taken out. I'm pretty sure. We will probably know more about it when time goes on. Okay. But I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yep.
Bye. Watched episode 4 of Skeleton Crew. It was interesting. It showed depicts of an older civilization, and
similar to Aten.
No, not similar to Aten, who then later on near the end tried their best to erase all the information of Aten, and survivors of the planet they were on, Akron or whatever, was in constant warfare and showed similarities and differences and the contrast between their peaceful life and the constant war life.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see how, even though they're the exact same civilization, how they developed from a starting point and how they changed. They had the exact same starting point, but one became dystopian, one became utopian.
Yeah. Well, I don't think dystopian is the right word. Because dystopian is when something's trying to act like a utopia.
Yeah, they were. They literally
the constant war.
Yeah, they were trying to be a utopia, but they weren't.
It was.
Well, look up the definition. I'll see you later.
See ya. So we finished episode 5. What the heck did we just watch? Grant, thoughts?
Wasn't there the whole point is he didn't realize there was he realized there was no treasure.
He realized there was treasure, and he got the map.
No, but if he wanted the treasure, he would keep them.
Nope. He got the map into the droid's mind, so all he had to do was challenge the captain, so then he can have control of the droid and be able to go to Aldhani.
Aten.
That's what I meant. Aten. I thought that was interesting. I liked the lightsaber. That was dope. I was expecting like a yellow, but it was blue. It was dope. And I knew that kid wasn't gonna do much. I don't know how they're gonna lead it to the next episode, but we got time for like one more.
No. Yeah, we're gonna do one more at least.
0 friends again. 31 minutes. Okay. Okay.
Let's do
See ya.
this.
We watched the next episode. Grant, what do you think of it?
That was really good.
It was great character building by the 4 characters. And then
like
there's
that.
episode 7 and 8. 2 more episodes.
I like the action scene on the end with the plane, and I really think the final arc of the whole thing is gonna be the kids versus the guy.
They gotta get back to their home planet. So
Yeah, they're both going to their home planet, and it's gonna be a little interesting. Yeah.
it's a cool show. Yeah. So yeah. Grant smile. With teeth. Hey viewers, I haven't seen any more Skeleton Crew episodes, but I want to give some of my thoughts. Because it's really hard for me to, I don't know why, think of thoughts to say, but I just thought of stuff, so I'm gonna say it. I think it will be interesting to see in Skeleton Crew, because next episode is episode 7 for me. The world, like, at Aden, like, it's gonna get discovered. I know it's gonna get discovered at some point or another. It's just, what are they gonna do? Because everyone on Aden believes that it's still been the Republic. There wasn't an empire or whatever. And then this whole entire world breaks it all apart. Like, the pirates destroy the whole view, is what I'm thinking. But yeah. I can't wait, because it's going to be exciting. I don't think they're going to have another season, but I think it will prompt for more Star Wars content that may involve Aden. So I think that'll be very interesting. I think it would be great character development. I don't know why, I always think this. Great character development to kill off one of the kids. Because I always feel like they wouldn't kill off the kids. So why, like, there's no, everything's gonna turn out okay. But what if they just trick us and kill a kid, you know? Obviously, killing is bad, but yeah. Anyways, that's my thoughts. And yeah. Viewers, it's me, Grant, and, well, me. We're about to watch episode 7 of Skeleton Crew. Grant, any thoughts?
It's gonna be interesting how they connect the 2 storylines.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I don't have anything much to say. I kind of forgot what I said before in an old recording. You weren't here when I recorded that, because whenever I get thoughts of it, it's always just sudden.
Okay.
But I kind of forgot. I like how there's no notable characters from any other media. There's
I thought they were
only
gonna hint at some things, like
there's
maybe
only
Leia.
that one planet from Andor that was mentioned at the very start. But yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Smile with teeth. Oh, we finished that episode. They left it on a big cliffhanger. It was really good. I'd say my favorite episode out of all of them, but maybe
Me
this
too.
next one.
I like the vault part.
The vault.
And how is it gonna work out if they ever figure out why has it been so long since the Republic has come by for more credit? You know.
Yeah, I think this show is going to be really interesting.
Yes. This final episode will be interesting once they get back. Once they get to the surface, I think there'll be a battle at the surface or in the vault.
Not in the vault.
I think one of the kids is gonna have force powers and he's gonna take the lightsaber.
No, do you know what I really hate? When kids show that they have force powers and then they ultimately are perfect at them. Like that one girl from Ahsoka.
No, but I really would like it if he just used the force and then he pulls the lightsaber and then it bonks him in the head. And
Okay,
then-
bye. We just finished Skeleton
It
Crew.
was a great ending. How the New Republic came back, best pirate busters in the galaxy.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I don't know why. I feel like it just ended with no consequences.
For their actions. I mean, their whole plan is destroyed.
Right.
So if we ever see season 2,
So
it'll be
maybe
about
if
Ego.
one of the main character's friends died, the blue elephant I thought would die, the
KD.
half robot I thought would die, the girl even I thought would die. I knew the guy wasn't gonna die.
Yeah, he's
Mostly
too
because,
close.
like,
He's a guy.
no, not because of that, because he was the lead character.
Okay. I really wanna.
Season 2? Is there a season?
Probably not. It didn't set up a season 2.
It's not setting up a season 2, but I'd like to see a season 2 showing the repercussions.
I want to see. I don't know why, but I want to see a more political style show of how the Resistance was formed and how the New Republic was working, like 25 years after.
They have
episode
something
6.
sort of like that when the Resistance was starting, Star Wars Resistance. Except instead of that, it actually just follows one guy who's in the Resistance.
When did that take place?
Between 6 and 7.
But like I think it was. Didn't season 2 take place during 7?
Oh,
It was a really bad.
I don't
show.
know, but
It was not a good
there was. We've never seen the show.
I saw the first 13 episodes, but it was really bad. And not
It
good.
gets better at season 2. It gets darker in season 2.
Oh, I didn't know that. It got
I
boring
didn't know
as
that
soon
either
as it
until I
stopped.
saw a YouTuber talk about it. But viewers,
I
that was a
might wanna
good
watch it
show.
now.
Andor season 2 coming out April 22nd.
Can't wait.
First 3 episodes.
They switched it from like 5 seasons to only 2 seasons, which is kind of sad. But...
Nope, they always planned on having 2 seasons.
Sure.
They did.
Yeah, sure, they did.
The director even said in many interviews that it was always planned to have 2 seasons, even though it's such a good show that it should have multiple seasons, and even I would want multiple seasons. The director said that this will just be 2 seasons.
Okay, and stay tuned for our All Hail King Julian review video.
Nope. Bye. Smile with teeth.